Hello, Internet! My name's Eric Lernold, and welcome back to Let's Draw here at Sketchy Antics. Today, we're going to continue to part 2 of how to draw in Sketchy Antics comic. So that'll be pretty neat. Last time, we went over how to do the blues and how to do the inks, and today we're going to do colors and shadow detail a little bit. We're doing some details, you'll see, and so hopefully by the end of this you'll get an idea of everything. Obviously, you see right now I'm doing the blacks over the blues, so I got a little bit here before we actually get caught up to where we left off last time. Last time I did a comic about me and Rachel going to Vermont. This time doing one about Pokemon. That's cool. I'm actually doing a little mini-series right now for Pokemon Go, and I use mini-series in super loose terms because it's just like 4 or 5 random comics that have to do with Pokemon in some way, but don't necessarily follow any order. So we're doing that right now, so I'm super excited. As you can see now, I'm actually drawing the team, drawing Dylan as Brock, my old publicist, and Dylan's girlfriend Caitlin as Misty, and Rachel as Pikachu, which is freaking adorable. Drawing Rachel as Pikachu is one of my new favorite things to draw. But anyways, while we're catching up here, I just want to touch on a few things. We just finished up July. Welcome to August. Yay! Hope everybody had a good July. That might not mean like a lot to you. You know, July, like, oh, why is that kid pointing out the fact that we went through a month? But July was kind of an important month for Sketchy Antics because a lot of things changed. For one thing, we started doing these videos and we started doing the streams. And it's been a lot of fun. And we also started this summer schedule of doing the Monday, Friday comics at sketchyantics.com. Go check it out. All the links in the descriptions. If you guys want to see anything sketchy related, go down there. Promise, it's down there. But yeah, we did all these Monday and Friday comics. We did the Wednesday videos, these videos. And a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff that we were working on. So it was kind of a big month for us, and we had some big stuff happen, and that included a ton more views and a ton more people checking out the comic and talking to us, and a bunch of people we got to meet. So that was super cool. If we met you or we talked to you, I'm sure it was awesome. I don't think I talked to anybody this month that I didn't enjoy talking to, which is kind of cool. But we had a blast, and we've gotten a lot further just in this past month. So we're hoping to continue this as we go on, obviously, because we don't want that to stop. That would be boring. So that being said, I always want to point out, if you guys want to if you guys have any questions for me, if you have any ideas for these videos, this time, like I said, I'm doing the drawing tutorials. Next week, I'm probably going to be doing tips and tricks for people who want to start the webcomics and whatnot. So even if you don't really have a webcomic in mind, and you just like to doodle, or you just like to post stuff online, come check it out. And maybe you don't, and you can check it out, and maybe you'll discover that you actually want to. So yeah, stop by. That'll be obviously next Wednesday. But yeah, if you need me or want to talk or whatever, just leave comments in the comments and we'll talk. It'll be awesome. You can also leave comments over on the website on basically anything. And I respond to all comments, so bam. Also on Twitter and Facebook. So yeah, talk to us. It's really, it sounds weird to say, but it really has been awesome. Like, you guys have been awesome, which has made this whole thing so much easier, because we could have just as easily had a bunch of trolls in the audience. And no, you guys are really cool, so I appreciate it, and hopefully we can keep bringing you cool stuff, And yeah, thumbs up. So yeah, like I said, we're doing the blacks right now. This will eventually switch over to the colors. I just remembering what this comic is about. I'm obviously punching Caitlin in the face there. Don't mind that. that silly old thing. This is actually the last panel, so it'll be very quickly that we actually switch over. As a reminder, bottom left-hand panel down there in the magic world, down that way, you see my layers, and you'll notice that only one is unlocked right now, and that's the ink layer. That's the black layer. It's the inking black lines I'm doing right this second. And it's on top of, it was actually on top of 3 layers, sketch layer 1 and layer 3, which are basically all just sketch layers, and that's the blue layer, and that's what we talked about last time. So once I finish up this one, I'm actually going to copy the ink layer, combine it with my frames layer, and that will be my color layer. And the reason I do that is because the frames are the actual boxes around the comic, and the black lines are what's inside it. And because sometimes a black line will end here and then come back around here, if I try to fill in that space, because the frame isn't actually there, the way layers work, everything's on top of each other, I end up coloring everything. So, oh, I went a quick break right there. Don't go anywhere. I'm still here. Look, we're back already. But yeah, so I'll combine the frame layer, and I think I'm about to do that. Yeah, that's what all that little stuff is there. So, Sketchymon Go. The first thing, I'll go in here and I'll start doing the colors. I do the colors in a couple different ways. Obviously here you can see I just went in and took where I had the blacks and used that as my template for doing the colors. I don't do that as often as what I'm doing right now, which is straight paint bucket fill. And I know it seems so simple and so like, oh, that's boring. But when you do your lines right, and the way that we do our lines is that you can have fade on your lines so that they look smoother and they're more detailed. But when you get up and close and personal with the line, it's not a straight black here and white here. It's got like a gradient in the line, and that's not very good for doing these fills with, because it leaves this like white shadow around all your colors, and that's terrible, and don't do that. But yeah, so the way we do our lines allows us to do the, or allows me to do the paint bucket fill, and that's super helpful if you can do that. And it's like MS Paint basic, but trust me, it's that kind of stuff that makes it a lot easier. I know a lot of people who will actually do a mask layer and will actually paint behind their inks. So if we had like a circle, they would paint back here and you would see the color, but it's really behind. Yeah. But anyways, color, super awesome. The coloring takes probably the least amount of time at all, mostly because of the color palette I have. Actually, I'm sorry, the color palette's down there. You'll see that I have like a range of color. Those are like the basic colors for Sketchy. All of the main characters and everybody have all their colors. But obviously, I don't have Pikachu colors or Ash Ketchum colors or whatnot. Oh yeah, I'm Ash in this comic. So I have to pull those. But that's not a big deal. That's real quick. So yeah, I'll go through, do these really quick, then I'll hit all the whites, and you'll see that in a little bit. Because if you take the white background away, you'll be able to see through any white areas, and we can't have that. What else? Okay, so we just finished that up, so I'm going and fixing the whites right now, which it looks like I didn't have too many areas, a couple eyeballs there, but besides that, pretty messing around. So yeah, so that's the color. It's super quick, super simple, but the palette is a big thing, and I don't really want to touch on this too much, but if you're designing a comic or whatever, and I just realized that I was missing, actually no, someone in stream pointed out that I was missing the Pikachu tail on the suit, so whoever that was, thank you very much. But yeah, so your color palette is very important. Obviously, I'm using the color palette from Pokemon. It's already, you know, they took time to design that palette, so just using that palette. But palette is important, and you can look up a lot of tutorials on how to pick palette and stuff like that online. But once I have my colors, then I can go and do the backgrounds. Now, most of my backgrounds are photographic backgrounds, and you'll see the last 3 panels in this comic are photographic backgrounds. But the first panel, I wanted to kind of do something different, so I went in and drew it myself, which I'll do from time to time when you see like the cool graphic backgrounds and stuff like that. I try to do all my cool graphic backgrounds. So I'm doing this little like splashy, flashy, floaty dream ball sequence kind of sketchy mon. Yeah. So I'll go through here and I'll do that really quick. This is really something that I guess comes with practice, and I'm not amazing at it, but I have gotten a lot better over the past couple months because I have been practicing doing some side projects and stuff, so it's really cool. I don't really know what else to say about that. That's what it is. I like how this one turned out, though. I think eventually you'll see it in the finished product, but I think eventually I went with a purple behind the go, too, just because I thought that made it pop better. Alright, so I went away for a quick second here because I had to go grab the actual pictures. Like I said, I use real photographic pictures for the backgrounds, and I actually have to go into, I have a file saved on my computer that just has a ton of pictures. And if you guys have any pictures, just anything, outdoors, keep it PG. Just realized as I said that. But if you have pictures of outside or buildings or whatnot, anything that would look good as a background, you can send them to me either on the website or at eric@sketchyantics.com. You can email to me. So that's cool if you still email. So I went through and I actually blurred out the backgrounds on this. I don't normally do that, but it made the characters pop a little better by blurring it out. Depending how much focus you need on the foreground and how close your color palette in the foreground matches the color palette in the background, sometimes you have to blur it out just so you get the characters to pop a little bit more. Now this part is very important, and it's super simple. Again, almost all the parts of this are super simple, proving that anybody could do a comic. You just gotta have something that you want to draw about, and then you can mess around with your own style. Obviously, it took me a while to figure out a lot of these things that I wanted to, you know, make the comic better. Shadowing is a big thing, I think, anyways. Excuse me. In this comic, and I mean Sketchy Antics in general, because it makes the characters more 3D. I mean, they're alone between Misty and the Pikachu outfit. I mean, Misty's a lot more vibrant 3D, pops out. But I make sure to go through, and I just hit it. Manga Studio actually has a shadow brush. Excuse me. In the old days, I would just take a regular brush, throw the opacity down to like 40, and I think I do 50 on this one for opacity. And I just hit the edges. And I used to do, if you ever hear of the term cell shading, which is basically what you see here, except more defined. This is shadow, this is light. Like there'll be a flat straight line. Here it's kind of like a gradient, and gradients are more true to real life. And there we go, that's it. So that's where I ended the stream. I go through and I fix the first panel there, and actually pop it over quick here. Ta-da! Finished product. And I obviously did the rest of the shading and the words and the bubbles and everything, and that's how you make a comic in Sketchy Antics. It's made up of a lot of parts. Talked really quick there. Hope you caught that all. But if you guys have any questions, obviously you can always leave comments down below and I'll be happy to answer. This is my style. This is what I've kind of created over the past couple years, actually, yeah, 2 years, almost 3. Almost 3 years of working on the comic. I've kind of put together this style, and since I got the drawing tablet, obviously things are moving at a different pace, and I'm learning different ways to do the comics, and it's completely a beast of another whatever. And it's great though, but it's an ever-evolving process. So if you have a style, keep it up. I'm sure it'll get better and better and better. I know even I have some days when I'm drawing and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel this style. But I know if I keep plugging, eventually the style will get better. And I'm sure that it will get better for you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this part 2 thingy of how to draw an essay comic. Stay tuned to next Wednesday where I do some tips and tricks. And maybe it'll be a little different. Who knows? We'll see. Might do some live drawing for you guys. I don't know. Maybe. Yep. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. Once again, don't forget to check out the streams Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I do those drawings live for you guys, and I chat, and we have a great time. Wednesdays, this video comes out, so stay tuned every Wednesday for these videos, and hit up sketchyantics.com for the comic every Monday and Friday. Again, thank you for watching. You guys rock. You've made July amazing, and I can't wait for August. Have a good one. Bye-bye.